Join me here on a very sunny and a very hot day in Bournemouth Square, and we're finally jumping into the new timetable. I know it's only the third episode of season 4, but today we are going for a ride on the 21, so join me as we go on the Moor buses. Roll the intro, shall we? And here we go, the first Moor route of the 2025 summer season and timetable, with being the 21, which is one of the new routes brought in by Moor Bus. Obviously you've also got the 11 that's brought in as well. This one running between Bournemouth and Tilbury Retail Park, going through West Howe. It kind of takes over from the 5 in some parts, but takes over from other older routes in other ways. For example, Verney Road, it takes over where the R4 used to go, whereas obviously it takes over the 5, and it adds a bit of the 164 back, and it also gives a nice link between Cunningham Crescent itself and the retail park. Now, what was quite nice with the vehicle we had, number 1264, is an ex-National Express West Midlands vehicle with a Trident 2 engine inside an E400 bodywork. Now we're just heading down the centre of Winton now. I'm going to stop waffling on as there'll be quite a bit of talking later, and we'll see you at Tilbury Retail Park. So I'm here at the other end of the route now. So just to go over it, it terminates on Dominion Road, which is on the Tilbury Park Retail Estate up near West Howe. And if you're travelling Monday to Friday, your first bus off in the morning is 5:46 AM towards Bournemouth, whereas your last bus is 8 minutes past 11. And it's the same on a Saturday, whereas on a Sunday your first bus is 16 minutes past 7 in the morning, and your last one being 11:08 in the evening. Now, for the frequencies, they're every half an hour Monday to Saturday and every hour on a Sunday. You will only need a Zone A, B, C ticket, so the fare information will, ABC, a Zone A ticket, but you can use an AB or an ABC. All the ticket information will have already appeared on screen. You can use tap on, tap off, and something new to note for the current Moor bus timetable and prices. If you hop on a bus after 7 PM in the evening, you can ride for just £1, and on weekends children travel for £2 on a day ticket. Now, it is quite weird seeing buses up here, as the last time I saw a bus up here was in the old Streetwise building. Now, many years ago when I was younger at Streetwise, they had, it's actually quite cool actually. So when I first started going there as a little boy, they had a skipper or a metro rider, picture should appear, and then later on they changed it to an Optare Solo. And the funniest thing of all in there was they had a simulator, and you had to basically stop the train before you hit the person on the track. Now, the way it was built, it was in the shape of a Virgin Trains Class 390 Pendolino, but the seats were old yellow bus seats, which I found quite interesting. Another bit of trivia about this route as well is the bit going down McLean Road, or yeah, McLean or Mandale. I always get those two roads mixed up, even though I've lived in West Ham my whole life. So it's the bit where the 36 usually goes. It's the bit that I thought, when they first announced this route, they wouldn't be able to get double deckers down. It's always been funny with the clearance. Now, the last time that road saw more than one bus an hour, back in the Wilson Dorset days with the 164. Now, the 164 used to run from Poole down to West Howe, along pretty much the same route the 15 does now, but instead of going off towards Winton, and that way it would, when it got to Wallace Down roundabout, it would turn left and follow the 36 down all the way to Kinston Road up by Columbia. Then it would shoot straight down Kinston Road, turn left onto Montgomery Avenue, loop into West House, terminating at Cunningham Crescent. Picture of the Spectra mimicking this should appear. And then it would turn right where we turned left on the 21, follow down to Moore Avenue, round to Poole Lane, and then just before, or just by the park at Poole Lane, it would turn left and then left again, going on to Mandale and then turning right and coming up towards Turberry Park Avenue. Now, the 164 did eventually become 14, and we will get to the 14 at some point. It is on the list, and I want to try and do it as soon as possible, because there is the chance of it being either 1019 Silver Star livery or 1020, but we shall see. We'll see you at Cunningham Crescent, where we'll get a little bit more on what else there is on this route. So going back to what I was saying about the 164, it used to come out of that road there, and seeing two routes on the stops here, it's actually quite alien. Some relics of the past of the old bus times text. So before we had the wonders of and the Moorbus app, you could text a number and find out when your bus was running. I think they discontinued it a couple of years ago, maybe a bit longer. But the system kind of worked. So half the time you'd never get a response. That's what I found, at least, anyway. But it was a good system. It sort of served its purpose. But coming up Heathlands Walk, the last time we were up this neck of the woods was obviously the last episodes of last season, when we looked at the 5, the 5A, the 6A and the FE1. Now obviously everything's pretty much changed now. We're on the new timetable. There's no more 5A, there's no more 6A, there's no more FE1. You've now got obviously the 21, the 11, and there's one more route that's changed, but I can't quite remember. The 12 has changed slightly, the 33 has changed, and so has the 70. We will cover all of that. Oh, the X3 has been extended as well, but we will cover that in a future video. But yeah, it's quite strange knowing that where I'm walking now doesn't really have the routes that it used to. So I'm just coming up on Springwalk. So obviously this bus stop here is still in use as the 14 and the 21 serve it. It's quite nice because depending on what side of the road you're on, depends on what terminus are. So you've got on this side of the road, look at the stops, you've got the 14 going to the hospital and the 21 going to the retail park, whereas if you go on the other side of the road, they both go to their respective town termini, being Poole and Bournemouth. Now as we walk onto Springwater Road, we now enter the dead zone. I call it the dead zone, it's just where the buses don't serve anymore, but it's quite eerie knowing that there's no buses up here anymore, but oh well, things happen, routes change, it just means we get to do it all over again. Nearly at the end now, so we'll see you when we get to the top. We're now here back at Cunningham Crescent behind me. We've also got the Henry Brown Youth Centre, and wish I got here a bit quicker because the 5 just went that way and it's 12:63. It would have been nice to have 63 and 64 in one video, but oh well. But in any case, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of On the Moor Buses. A little bit shorter than I wanted it to be, but it's too hot, if I'm completely honest. But we'll see you next time as we take a look at something new, but also something a bit older. I've been Aaron and Jack, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.
There's always gay life on the buses. Make sure you leave your bird at home. You'll see so many on the buses. You won't be sitting on your own. It's so romantic on the buses. You'll find it thrilling when you ride, and you can get it on the buses, upstairs or down inside. Oh, it's a great life on the buses, no matter what the time of day. You'll see the world